Namaste and hi friends, it's Parvati here with Visionary Veda, bringing you your Vedic Astrology report for the month of June 2021. In this report, I'm going to go over the major planetary placements and transits for the month of June. Now, this is going to be an incredibly intense and power-packed month. We will have officially 3 planets in retrograde during this month. We have Mars changing signs. We have Mercury changing signs. We have a very powerful solar eclipse happening next month, June the 10th. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. In this report, first what I'll do is I'll just go over the planetary positions. And then we'll talk a little bit more about what their impact can be felt like in our lives. Again, this is a Vedic astrology report, so I work with the sidereal zodiac, which is according to the zodiac, according to the fixed stars. Sidereal means star, versus the Western tropical zodiac. And I know many viewers have been asking me to please do a video explaining the difference, and hopefully after the eclipse season has passed, the eclipse window has passed, I will have more time to be able to make more content and videos. But for now, please do like, subscribe, and share this video if you feel this information is of benefit, and I very much hope that it is. Okay, so this month, actually today, I'm recording this on June the 3rd. Today is a very, very powerful day. If you're feeling out of sorts, if you're feeling flustered, if you're not feeling very grounded, there's a reason for that. We have 2 planets moving signs today. We have Mars, the planet of action, moving into its sign of debilitation. It's moving from Gemini into Cancer today. And then we have Mercury, which has been in retrograde since the 30th of May, and it's also moving signs today from its own sign of Gemini, which it just sort of peeked into, back to the sign of Taurus. Now in Taurus, of course, we've got the sun, and the solar eclipse is going to happen in the sidereal sign of Taurus as well. So it's going to include Sun and Rahu and Moon for the solar eclipse on the 10th, and Mercury is going to be affected. I'll explain more about the implications later on in another video for the solar eclipse. So Taurus, we have Sun, Rahu, and Mercury moving back there today. In Gemini, we have Venus sitting there. And then Venus will change signs at the end of the month to meet Mars, which is moving into Cancer today. Then we have Ketu in the sign of Scorpio. We have Saturn going retrograde since the 23rd in the sign of Capricorn, his own sign. And we have Jupiter still in the sign of Aquarius, and Jupiter is going to go retrograde on the 20th of the month. Okay, so right now we have these 2 planets changing signs. Then we're going to have the eclipse on the 10th. Sun is going to go into Gemini. And then at the end of the month, around the solstice time, is when we will have 3 planets retrograde on the solstice. So it's going to be a very, very powerful month and a very, very powerful solstice. Okay, so how does this play out? What does it look like? What do the energies look like? How are we going to feel it? Well, first and foremost, Mars in the sign of Cancer. So this energy is going to definitely be felt by all of us. Mars is the planet of action, and it is in the watery, nurturing sign of Cancer, where it feels very, very uncomfortable. Why? Because Mars is the warrior. And its energy is diametrically opposed to the sign of Cancer, which is the mother, the nurturer. So we can see in ourselves and around us people having emotional upheavals. You can think of the energy of Mars in Cancer as like a childish energy. Someone or something happening, someone feeling frustrated, wanting to, move ahead, but their plans are thwarted, or they have to wait longer than anticipated, or things are just not moving at the normal speed, which is what Mars wants. And so it can come out kind of like a tantrum, kind of like an emotional breakdown, an emotional tantrum, an emotional upheaval, because Mars does not know what to do with all of this emotional energy. Mars is a very logical planet. It's like, okay, give me the instructions, and then I'm just going to go and carry out this instructions, and I will be victorious in completing the task. Because this is not going to happen so easily with Mars in the sign of Cancer, then the emotions flare up, self-doubt comes in. Mars can turn inward on itself and start beating itself up. So be aware of that. Be gentle on yourself. Know that when you're feeling these emotional upheavals, that it's only the planet Mars expressing itself in your life. Be gentle also with your relationship with your mothers. There can be clashes with your mom. Why is that? Because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and that symbolizes the mother. The moon symbolizes the mother. Cancer is the most caring, nourishing sign that represents the mother. So with Mars there, mother's health could be at stake, and also your relationship with your mother can be on. So, you can have arguments with her, and just remember that we revere the mother, right? Without the mother, we wouldn't even be here on this planet having this beautiful life. She raised us, no matter what kind of mother we've had, right? Nobody's perfect. So remember to treat her gently and with respect. Treat yourself gently and with respect, because we also are a mother to ourselves, right? We have to take care of ourselves. And have more patience with others with this Mars in Cancer, all right? So now we have Saturn in retrograde and Mercury in retrograde for the entire month. Mercury goes out of retrograde after the solstice, I think a day or two after the solstice. So the 23rd, I believe, it turns direct. So with Saturn retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, this is a great month to take stock. It's a good thing that Mars is debilitated, because it's not the right time to move forward. It's the time to kind of go inward, look back at what you have accomplished up until this point, right? In the year since last year, and really take a sobering look at what is going on in your environment, internally and externally, and how can we lay foundations in place so that we can move forward in this brave new world that we're facing, right? So it's a time of really practically looking at what structures we need to fortify. It could be in your home, it could be regarding your business, it could be regarding your relationships, it could be regarding your habits, right? Like, what do I want to put in place? Do I want to get healthier? Do I want to get wealthier? Do I want to get wiser? Do I need to go back to school? Do I need to take a class? Do I need to join the gym? Do I need to call the plumber? Practical things in our lives, and how we can fortify it and rebuild the structures to take us to that next level in what we want to achieve. That Saturn going retrograde as well as Mercury going retrograde. Now, I've already felt the effects of Mercury going retrograde, and I know a lot of my friends and family have as well. They've been calling me and talking to me and sharing with me about all the little snafus. Now, the thing about Mercury retrograde is don't give up. It just makes communication and planning difficult, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't move forward with it. Just have patience with yourselves. Try and be logically minded, practically minded, and review things. Tie up loose ends. It's not a good time to begin anything, especially because we're in between a major eclipse. We had the lunar eclipse on, oh my God, I forgot the day in May. Oh my goodness, when was it? I think off the top of my head, it was like the 25th. So we had the full moon lunar eclipse on the 25th of May, and now we're going to have the solar eclipse on the 10th of June. So it's really a time of reassessing, and in the Vedic tradition, it is a time of going inward and really listening to our higher guidance, because at this time things are too in flux for us to be able to see anything clearly. Mercury retrograde, the eclipses, Saturn retrograde, Mars being debilitated, right? It's a difficult time, but if we can just use this time, if we could just roll with it, right, and use this time to reflect inward, we can get a lot of things accomplished on an inner level, so that when the planets start to move forward again, when things come out of debilitation, we will be ready. We will have done all the work we've needed to do. Okay, so moving on, I just want to make sure that I've covered it. Mars in Cancer, Mercury retrograde, moving back into Taurus, Sun in Taurus with Rahu. Sun will be moving into Gemini on the 15th. And then we have Venus in Gemini until the 22nd. Okay, so now the end of the month. The end of the month is going to be also very strong. So after this eclipse on the 10th, the eclipse is happening in the sidereal sign of Taurus in the nakshatra of Mrigashira. And this is going to be, I'm going to do a whole new video, a whole nother video on the eclipse with detailing this more. But this is going to be a very powerful eclipse, no doubt, because it's going to affect us around things that we love, around our hearts. Mrigashira is symbolized by the deer, and the deer is the symbol of the Anahata chakra, which is the heart chakra. Okay, so it's really going to bring home what it is that we truly love. Maybe we are obscuring that love from ourselves. We can see places that we have self-sabotaged our efforts in attaining or doing or being with who we love, doing what we love, getting what we love, pursuing what we love, enjoying what we love, right? And it will become very evident to us where we've been forsaking love, and especially where we can use, or we can practice rather, more self-love. All right, this is a very important eclipse, but more on that in another video. After the eclipse, then 10 days later, so the eclipse window is 10 days more or less on either side for a solar eclipse. Sometimes we extend it to 2 weeks, and 3 days for a lunar eclipse, because the moon moves faster than the sun. Okay, so after the eclipse on the 10th, on the 20th of the month, Jupiter is going to begin to go retrograde. All right, so then our wisdom is going to become more internal. With Jupiter going retrograde after the eclipse, whatever input we got from the eclipse we're going to be able to reflect on, right? With our inner wisdom. Then on the 21st, we have the solstice, going to be very, very, very powerful because of all of these influences of the eclipses and the retrograde planets. And then on the 23rd, Mercury is going to go direct. So again, there's a change in the energies. Everything that we have been able to revise, replan, redo, we're going to be able to bring forward now all the work, the inner work that we've done this month of June. And then on the 25th, we will have a beautiful full moon in the sidereal sign of Sagittarius. So everything that we've done, all the internal work, review, revision, right? Restructuring, we're going to be able to bring forth in this Sagittarius new full moon, which will illuminate our higher ideals moving forward. All right, so that is a snapshot of the month of June. If you watched my full, new moon video, I taught a mantra at the end of the video, and I'd like to review that mantra here with you guys today because it's a very powerful mantra and one that I want to encourage everyone to use for the entire month of June. Okay, why is that? Because it is a mantra of liberation. So the mantra is Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So in the other video, I mispronounced the Tamasoma. Okay, I said Tamasoma. It's very, very bad that I did that. With the Sanskrit mantras, our intention, of course, is what matters most. But we need to really try to pronounce the words correctly, because Sanskrit is a vibrationally based language. And so the words and the way the tongue is formed when we're speaking these words activates the subtle nadis, right? The subtle channels in our body. And so we try as best as we can to pronounce it properly. Now, what does this mantra mean? The mantra means Asatoma Satgamaya. Please deliver us from untruth to the truth. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. From ignorance to light. Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. From death to immortality. Okay, we start always the mantra with Om, and we end it with Shanti, 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 which means peace, peace, peace. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now, this mantra is going to be especially powerful on this solar eclipse because there's a connection with this mantra and the solar eclipse. So stay tuned for my next video where I go deeper into the significance of this powerful solar eclipse. It's going to be a big one, and we need to be able to use its energies wisely. So please look out for that video coming up. If you would like a reading with me, now I know several of you have reached out for readings. I do not do readings during the eclipse window. So after the solstice, I will be available for readings again. You can reach me at my email below, which is visionaryveda@gmail.com. I have a website, which is visionaryveda.com. I have a Facebook page, Visionary Veda, and a Facebook group, which is Visionary Veda. And I also have an Instagram account that I'm going to start being more active on. So please have a look out for those. And as usual, I hope this report, this Vedic astrology report, was of benefit to you, gave you some clarity on the upcoming energies for the month of June. As always, enjoy the life, make best use of these energies, and thank you very much for joining me today. I wish you a very impactful and powerful June 2021. Until next time, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.